Feel the weight of what we owe. This, the song of sons and daughters. Hide the heart of who we are. Making peace to build a future. Strong, united, working till we fall. The air and water flowing hard. The land we call our home. Push to keep the dark from coming. Feel the weight of what we owe. This, the song of sons and daughters. Hide the heart of who we are. Making peace to build a future. Strong, united, working till we fall. And we all lift, and we're all adrift together, together. Through the cold mist, till we're lifeless together, together.
ラブマジックは時計はしないおいで召しませお姫様毒のリンゴを食べて眠っちゃいそうな素直すぎる君がとても愛しい当たり前行こう宝物さ地球は回り日は昇り君は微笑む素直に I love you 届けようきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に合うガラスの靴を探そういつまでも深夜12時を過ぎたって僕らのラブマジックは時計はしない意地の悪いまま母にも急な雨にも寂しい夜にもへこたれない君がやはり愛しい遠く離れて会えない日は星に願って夢で会おう明日は晴れるや一生 I love you 変わらないそうさ You love me君に合うダイヤのリング渡そうこれから何千回つまずいてさらに何万回転んでも君のガラスの靴は脱げはしないみんな乗ってる今回の頃なんだってアイドルそうグループ名は当たり前行こう宝物さ地球は回り
The past few months, you've all been doctors, teachers.
Son of a bitch, god damn it. No, no, go away. Go away. On BGM music. There we go. Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun and also try to struggle with YouTube's BGM soundtracks. So, what are we working on today? Well, we are working on the one, the only. We're working on Tainted Bloodlines. When aren't we working on Tainted Bloodlines? So, here I'm gonna actually put my big think board here. Don't mind that. Well, I added two things to the genetic stuff. Is one on cannibalism and priority. Fun fact, cannibalism is sort of a big deal in this game. So eating your compatriots is bad, but also good. Because eating them means that you get all their mutations off of them, and allows you to expand your bloodline in a much more direct fashion. But it's still considered somewhat of a social faux pas to eat the emissary of another colony, so don't do that. And you also inherit all their bad traits, so it's kind of a gamble. Like, do I really want to eat the horrifyingly pus-filled abomination of God because he has a really cool tail? Take that as you will. The second note is a little bit more, yeah, I'm going to let you soak that in there. It was going to come up, regardless of what I did, so I decided to take the real hero route and address it, and make aggressive jazz hand motions toward it, as it's there, and it works. I hope you all like it. The entire pitch is like, don't do that unless you are severely desperate. But you shouldn't. This is a no-no thing. You don't want to do that. Actually, I should actually add a second part to that. As a side note to a side note, eating your close kin has the same effects. Cannibalism is bad. Cannibalism among the family is worse. Yeah, don't eat your friends. Don't eat the people by you. What I'm saying is, don't eat things you shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Please, God, don't eat anyone that doesn't deserve to be eaten. Let's see. So we have mutation priority. We are still drinking Weibrakja, Merry Monks. Looks at it as I believe this isn't a Pilsner. I think this is a lager. No, Belgian style triple. Tripel. Well, I enjoy it. It's kind of like a lager mixed with a Pilsner, kind of. And I enjoy that. I like the flavor, to be honest. Oh, gosh. I've recently joined more Discords, and it's ping, please God, shut up. So, also, another big note, here is a site called Miro. This got recommended in another board on another Discord of mine as a nice way to keep track of some notes. So I decided to use it and see how it works, and I like it quite a bit. Some are pretty easy, so as you can see, I have kind of like what my general notes are, what the colony management, hex grid movement systems, and what songs I plan on using. And then we have the future, what the futures hold. So the next game we're going to be working on is actually Kid World 2, Back to School, a game about Lord of the Flies, except worse. And after that, we're going to be doing a rework of my isekai game called Table Talk Online. As you see, I have quite a few sticky notes set up. And I did do a check to see if I could get some other people to look on here without having to log in. That doesn't appear to be the case, and I don't like that very much. So we will see if I can find anything else. I might just keep it for myself, just so everyone can kind of see this, but I digress. So, what we are working on today is fairly simple. Colony management. So, colony management and the next generation. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. The colony is a splice. Actually, the colony is the splicer's main social hub, as well as meeting ground. Double check Discord. Main social hub, as well as main social, as well as gathering place for the multiple situations that affect them. The colony is not exactly a how do I want to word this? The colony is not a... Actually, what? The colony would be best described as inhospitable to the above grounders, but to renegade splicers, it is not too cold, nor is it too hot. It's safe from the murderous beasts that lurk outside, and has ready access to essential goods. It's home. Not a good home, but a home nonetheless. Now we get to the fun part, because I realize, looking through everything, this wasn't, really, I planned on doing this, but, let me see. Effectively, what I'm going to have to do is just take these. Alright, actually, what I should do, the colony has four main statistics. The colony has four main statistics to determine its value and ability to produce goods. Bodies, prosperity, culture, and industry. Actually, I should call that just production. And then we're going to call the colony. Actually, yeah, let's call it just the colony. 2. There we go. bodies, prosperity, culture, and production. Bodies are exactly what it sounds like. Simply a group of splicers that are confined to the walls, confined to the colony for one reason or another. At the start a starting colony has few excess bodies, most of which few excess bodies. As the characters will most likely be the few individuals actually inhabiting the complex. As their bloodlines grow, and they invite or forcefully absorb other colonies or individuals into their ranks, this score will increase. And actually what I should do is have a thing above. Colonies come in one of three sizes. One in three sizes. Camps, outposts, cities. Camps, outposts, and cities. Camps barely even considered a colony by under Hive standards. A camp is a glorified spot to rest the characters' heads and protect themselves. They do not produce anything. They have few bodies. They have few bodies and they have few people and produce hardly anything. Let's see. And outposts. An outpost is considered by many to be the standard colony of import size, usually hosting around 20 to 50 splicers. Splicers often part of the same few bloodlines and clans. Outposts sustain themselves off limited production and the ability to trade with other outposts and camps. Cities. A city is perhaps the largest congregation splicers in the Underhive. boasting well over 100 splicers belonging to many separate bloodlines and clans. The cities are also the most difficult to manage. Strongman rule being common among the elite. Problems in a city can rapidly spiral out of control, forcing those separate clans to scatter to the winds, forming camps and outposts themselves. Wait, someone is actually in this document? Nani? That's an oddity. Usually don't see people coming in here for any other reason than to accidentally post it in place. Let's see. Colonies coming to 1. Outpost cities. Outposts belonging separate. I don't think I know who's here, if I'm correct. Colony attributes. That would be heading 3. Value of bodies, prosperity, culture, and production. Where the light fades softly. Next, bodies are gained by having. Bodies are gained every generation. By the excess amount of children produced by the characters. Actually, do I even want to do this? Do I want to do this? That is the question of the hour. Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to the stream of me questioning my sanity. What brings you here, Lucky Ben? Oh, we have another one. We have 2. Oh, God. I don't even want to do this. Cat colony, feral cat colony behavior. Yeah, welcome aboard. It's been a while, but we're working on a game about cat girls, unfortunately. So get your brandy out, because we're not going to make it out of here alive. Oh God, there goes my back again. Oh, maybe one. Relationship complex, strong. Thinky. Let's see. But generally, the schedule overlap and their size, the proportion of availability of food, and the density of females present. Okay. Alright. I'm going to have to refocus this, aren't I? So effectively, colonies need territory. About what? Colonies need territory. Territory equal resources and food. Territory equals resources and food. More territory equal larger population. More territory equal bigger competition. More competition equal more problems. Bada bing, bada boom. So I'm going to have to, I think, rework that from the bottom up. So instead of making it more city oriented, like where the light fades softly, I'm going to have to redo all of this. So yeah, I just wrote all of that, but now it's not going to go anywhere. Begone! Words that I wrote. I'm a half hour into the stream and all I've written effectively is bada bing, bada boom. Welcome to Notepad and on stream, everyone, where I drink a lot and wonder what the hell I'm doing with my life. And constantly double check the So what I'm going to have to do is territorial. Actually, I'm going to do what is a colony. So we do what is a colony, then we're going to make that heading 2. So what have you been up to lately, Sachiko? I've just been shitposting and writing. That has been the extent of my life. Going to inquire about, but the core idea of a colony is a centralized gathering point for splicers in the underhive. Underhive, not underhiber. Colonies often have a dedicated set of leaders that are the heads of various clans, often related through bloodlines, marriage, or simply just connections. These clan heads, and in turn their clan. No worries if it's something like that. I mean, this is a game, for God's sakes. I'm not exactly going to like, oh, well, time to, chink out, get the fucking switchblade out, sorry, Grandma can't have, Sorry, mom can't have a wheelchair. Some jackass in the Burgistan needs, his money. And he's like, don't worry about it. But I was going to mention, get a hold of you eventually, and be like, hey, everything okay, or did something happen? Like, are you alive? So that it's good that this is happening, and I don't have to worry about it too much. Protect their territory. Protect their territory through force of will. Often sending out force of will in arms. Sending out their younger. How do I want to word this? Sending out their younger members of their clan to find more genetic material, find genetic material, and further the bloodlines. Often, colonies have a centralized point where the main housing and living quarters are, but some of the larger colonies can be spread out, allowing for many small homesteads of families to live among each other. Especially prosperous colonies may even have a town which allows the economic growth of the entire region. But with size comes competition, and competition leads to ruin. Take your time, don't worry about it. Sort yourself out first. That's my thing. Sort yourself out first. No one's good to anything if you're not doing good or your family ain't doing good. Hell, I do the same thing. So, what is this game about, you ask? This is Tainted Bloodlines, a project which a friend of mine said I should do, because I asked all my friends, hey, I want to give me some ideas for games. Give me some ideas. And this is where Project Dirt Block came to existence. Which is going to be the Minecraft tabletop RPG that does not need to exist, as well as this game. Now, the individual I asked for this, a good friend of mine, all she said was cat girls, and then made aggressive hand motions. And I wondered with her, what the do you mean cat girls? And then she made more aggressive hand motions and disappeared for 2 months. So, this is my interpretation on the matter. Because I asked myself, what do cats do? Cats do things. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm trying to make a cat girl RPG. I'll try to do this. And then I went down the rabbit hole a little bit about cats. Cats are fascinating animals. I love cats personally. But they are fascinating creatures because they form colonies. And in these colonies, a lot of things happen. Mostly, you have a smaller assortment of individuals. Usually it's about competition for food. It's people kind of working, how they work together is very fascinating. You also get problems. genetic problems quite often. And this is why you end up with cats like Frank and Louie. Frank and Louie is this project's spirit animal. You may be wondering, why is this animal, this horrifying, beautifully animal, Frank and Louie, this project's spirit animal? Yes, hello. Yeah, I'm explaining what the current project is, and then I will be explaining what I have for the Discord in general. But Frank and Louie here is it was commonly referred to as a two-faced cat or a Janus cat. That's a genetic flaw in cats that can occur, or you get things such as the Hemingway house, which has the rare, very rare, and almost impossible to find anywhere else, six-toed cats, because Ernest Hemingway's cat had 6 toes, and they propagated constantly. So I took with that and ran with it, in more ways than one. The concept of genetics, and playing around with genetics. That, and I was being quickly obsessed with Fire Emblem for a while. Blame Fire Emblem, not me, because I pitched the game as Fire Emblem Eugenics Simulator, and people seem to like that, so here I am. One of the main things about this game is what I want to make, effectively, is that you don't level up normally. You have to effectively pass on traits, mutations, issues to the next generation. And I had to effectively make an entire subsystem based around... I had to build an entire subsystem around, you know, how do you pass on mutations? How do you pass on genetics? So I did. And now I'm working on colony management, because inadvertently this game kind of became a hex crawl in a way. So it's a simple system. It's a D20-100 system. It's a... ironically enough, I'm aping Megaversal for some reason, but I digress. But that's kind of the pitch of it. I did work on an entire thing for genetics and and priorities and genetic drifts. It's a very odd system, and I still need to get some of my friends to look at it. But it works. But for words 1, my friend, for the Discord plans, I have... Exactly. It's great. Because I debated on using a D6 system, but I found out that I needed more numbers, ironically, to work with. So it's funny because you use the, you know, like, oh wow, look at the most possible results. The fact that I used a skill system that is D100 while the actual attribute system is D20 actually makes things a little bit simpler to work with. How just the nature of things how it kind of fell into place worked fairly well. Exactly. I don't know what you're talking about. I think it works just great. Like, hey, what am I going to... yeah, you need 94. 100's bigger than 6, right? So therefore it's a better dice. You know, bigger numbers equal better, right? That's what I've been told. But my plans for the server, and this is Chico in case you're curious. I'm in a few Discords for game designers, and my ideas, what I was going to do, after a very successful threads. Oh, Jesus. Technically, if you want dealing with the mutations present, you can do that. Very easily, in fact. Scarily easily. God, what have I created? What abomination have I made? But overall, what my plan is that on the 15th of every month, I'm going to start a new game jam. And what this game jam is going to be a very small game. Something simple and something fairly easy to actually do for the server. And I'm going to, be a judge myself, and probably select anyone who's willing to judge along with me to say who is winner, who is loser, ha 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 ha. And all they get is internet meme points. However, since I'm a selfish boy, and I know how to pretty much drive things, good go-go marketing degree, what I'm going to be doing is effectively tying what this game jam is to the next thread question of my homebrew thread on 4chan. And that starts on the 1st of every month. So, tying everything together, you're going to have 15 days to effectively make your results. Then I'm going to post the thread, which you can then post your results in, or how you're currently moving things up, and get questions and ideas going, and then on the 15th of the next month, start the next one for the thread question of the next month. What it effectively is driving up pretty much traffic on both ends. A is going to want to get opinions on the project, while B is going to want to simply do the project in general. So, it's great. It's called Big Think Time, and having a consistent amount of game jams every month means that usually smaller projects are going to have a little bit more room to maneuver. More room to maneuver means more things to do. And this next one coming up, which is going to be in 7 days, in a week actually, I already have the idea for it. So I'm probably going to post something very simple like, hey, get ready for this, it's going to be fun, and have some people get some ideas flowing. The pitch is fairly simple, but I don't really want to give it up until the 15th proper. But I do have some plans to make Game Jam a little bit more consistent and play into my own homebrew thread. Therefore, creating a beautiful synchronous loop of content. It's genius, I know. Maybe that's just the alcohol speaking. So, get your ideas going. You don't quite know what it is, but I can tell you this. It's going to be a one-page RPG, nice and simple, but it's also going to be very fluffy. So, bear that in mind. But, let's get... Effectively, a good old Sachiko is, I am in a Discord called the Game Design General. Game Design General is Game Design Guild now, is a server full of people like me, unfortunately. Sad, miserable creatures that make games. And they used to host things called game jams. No coup yet, until if Chop threatens to delete the server again, I might launch a preeminent coup and dethrone him. But I've launched 2 coups in my time, and they're not exactly entertaining. Welcome to college, though. But game jams, for Sachiko, in case you don't know what they are, as they kind of say, you have a small amount of time to create a game. This next game that I plan on doing is going to be a one-page. Pretty much you just have a single A4, usually A4, though 8.5 by 11 is my way of saying it, page of paper to work with. You can add images, you can add color, you can do anything you want. All I ask is you use a single page to do things. And I want to encourage results, so people actually post in my thread I make on 4chan about homebrew games. And thus, I get to the, quote, winner, winner, chicken dinner, and I make aggressive hand movements. And, but yeah, no, Pullman, I do plan on, if Chop threatens again, the knives are coming out and we're going to go Nigeria on him, but... My friend, I have seen things you wouldn't believe. So I'm not fazed by anything at this point. Hell, for one game I was thinking about redoing the infamous game known as Fatal. And I know how I do it too. And that's the worst part, is I know how I do it. Okay, if you want the chaotic evil, Notepad Anon coming out to save the day, that's that. Not my proudest moment, but you don't need competition leads to ruin. Actually, what I need to do, maps. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There. I'm gonna totally steal this. Hey, Fatal is worth reading, everyone. Remember that. That's Notepad Anon's hot take of the year. Fatal is worth reading because it's awful. 600 pages of sadness and misery, but it's something that everyone deserves to know about. It's kind of like racial holy war. It's a game that doesn't deserve to exist, but the fact that it does exist proves something. That God is dead. Beer one down. But guess what, kids? Yippee-ki-yeet! I'm not an alcoholic, you are. Wander over yonder. Stamina. Okay, so we're going to want... finding the Underhive. The Underhive is a location that located under a major city so far advanced that the people above are simply regarded as above grounders. With their high technology and complete disregard for the scraps under their city. The Hive itself is infested with their garbage and abandoned things they don't care about, such as the splicers. Welcome, third viewer. How are you? My name is Notepad Anon, and I write games for fun. Let's see. Underhive located on the measurement of high technology, complete disregard for scraps under their city. Heaven itself is infested with their garbage and abandoned things they don't care about, such as splicers. The Underhive is split up into small sections known as zones. Each zone is roughly defined to be about New York size. .6 square miles to 302.2 square miles. Let's double that because we're in the horrifying future. So that means we're on to, we'll round it up to say, let's say 604 square miles. It's funny. I debated on having a lot of different mutations, but I really didn't put too much in there because I want to make the mutations system fairly simple. I've actually been debating on, asking the greater community for giving me some more mutations to work with because I really don't know. I was debating on doing something similar to that, but I took a step back from it because due to the nature of how some of the things are, I might actually add that in now that you mention it, because it's one of the key issues of this game is that you do need a maternal and you need a paternal bloodline to continue your bloodlines, but hey, sometimes people don't have, but there are problems. Do you allow your brother, genetic Chad, to marry marry an individual who is, for lack of a better word, an abomination of God and should never reproduce because all of her things are terrible? Do you allow that? Do you allow that relationship to continue? If you think yes, well, what happens to the offspring? If you think no, how do you stop them? So having things like intersexuality and things like that, I debated on having it, but it just never quite panned out the way I would want. So I might add something like that. 3 miles. 3 miles per hour, and let's say 3 times, we'll call it 8 hours. So 3 times 8 is 16, 24. So we can move about, let's say 24 miles an hour to be about 25 miles. And we're going to put a little comma that, and 25 miles to kilometers, about 40 kilometers. And 40 kilometers, which is able to be traversed in a single day. Actually, let's do 5 miles so you can traverse 5. So we want 5, about 8 kilometers. Which is able to be traversed in an hour of time. I keep putting under Hive. I don't mean to do that. It's under Hive. Split a small section of zones. Each zone is roughly defined as about 5 miles, 8 kilometers, which is to be traversed in about an hour of time. Each zone may also produce a resource which contributes to the overall oh Jesus, fuck me. One moment, folks. Oh, geez. I drank his beer too fast and fizzed over a little bit. You know. So inadvertently, I have to make a game about territory control. And alright. To be overall health and quality of the colony. Yeah. So let's say you want to travel 8, so that's going to be 40 miles or 8 hours, so I want 3. So that's going to be 3 hours. Make it 3 miles. 3 times 5 equal... 3 times 8 is 24. 3 miles. Which is about 5 kilometers. Just rounding up. Because I'm lazy. Kilometers. Oof. Characters can travel. Single 8. Let's see. A colony. Depending on the size, a colony, depending on the size, has a number of zones under their control. Control which define a number of zones under their control. Depending on the size, the number of zones under their control. And we'll say small colony is going to be 3 to 1d6, medium 15 to 30 splicers, 2d6, and large colonies, which is going to be pretty much 50 plus splicers, is going to have 4d6. Independent 1 to 2 splicers is going to control 1d4. Sees additional zones as territory at their leisure, but require bodies to, quote, work the tile to allow the harvesting of the resource. And now I'm going to paste this in. Finding the Underhive, we want to go to Tainted Bloodlines, paste it right there. To, what is a colony, finding the Underhive advanced. So, I'm actually going to put a side note. Side note, average size of a Underhive. Size of an underhive would be equivalent to a massive city. But for the purposes of the characters and their adventures, constrain the available space to around a 50 by 50 grid of your choice. This allows for around a 2-day adventure to one edge of the map to the other. which also contributes to keeping the territorial struggles between a few colonies in the area relevant and demanding. Characters should feel claustrophobic. As they struggle to maintain their colony's relevance or submit to a larger one. To the other. Yeah, I want to get across the fact that this is a kind of these are small territories, because like we say, oh well, here's a cat's territory. Like a cat's territory isn't actually usually that massive compared to what we would traditionally think. But these are multiple people fighting for small bits of scrap, effectively, in their own area. So it's like, hey, you're impeding on our area here. Get away from us, or we'll throw our entire might at you. So I want people to feel claustrophobic. I want people to look at that large city over there and be like, they're taking up half the map. Bug me. Like, we gotta stop them. You're like, oh, okay, like, all right, they own all this territory, but we're going to clash with them inevitably, and we don't really want to clash with these other guys because they're our friends, so let's see, let's poke the barrel and see what they actually say. Like, let's poke the animal. Resources and attributes. Struggle to survive. Resources and attributes. The colony is always expanding. Every generation, more bodies are added to the pile of mouths to feed, and people are required to take care of them. The characters are wayfinders, individuals who are tasked with probing the future and finding the genetic material to bring back to the colony. However, during their time abroad, the colony needs resources. There are 5 key resources. There are 5 key resources to met with the colony. There's 5 key resources of the colony. Well, if the colony, I've been drinking too much of the colony, that need to be managed. And we're going to deal with morale, food stuff, bodies, and morale, food stuff, bodies, scrap, and what else am I thinking of? Just 4. Oh, and economy? No. Oh, yes. scrap and prosperity. No, let's go with economy. Morale, food stuff, body, scrap, and economy. Morale. And we're going to make that morale represents the overall mood and feelings of the colony. A high morale may attract additional bodies, as well as encourage the production of more foodstuff. People need to eat. While most can subsist off these simple foods thrown away by the above grounders, the production, the stockpiling of food may be necessary for some of the more precarious years. Bodies. Simple as it sounds. Oh, we got a bad bit rate. Oh no, that's red. I don't like it when it's red. Oh no. Simple as it sounds, bodies represent the number of people able to work various zones, as well as the number of mouths needing to be fed. This will increase faster than expected. Scrap. The above grounders will throw away just about anything. So it's up to splicers to harvest these valuable pieces of garbage to create fabulous tools and be the only method of wealth available. Economy. Splicer communities live and die by trade. Having good trade relations, having a good economy is the difference between having access to a plethora of goods and having access to nothing outside what is available. So effectively breaking it down to be a little bit simpler. Higher morale means you're going to have more kids. Higher food stuff means you can actually feed those kids. Higher amount of bodies means you can work more tiles to have more things. Scrap is effectively your money. Well, the economy represents effectively people's willingness to trade with you. So it's the difference of, okay, we produce a lot of food, but we have no scrap. And these people have a lot of scrap, so you're going to be able to trade among each other a lot easier. You know, you have a strong economy, they have a strong economy, we're able to trade. If you're not able to trade, that means it's like, oh, hey, I'm not going to be able to buy a weapon because we just don't have access to it. We legitimately do not have access to the ability to make this weapon. Or we don't have the ability to produce anything because we can't get the resources needed. So we need a lot more scrap, but we don't produce scrap. We produce food, but we have a shitty economy, so people don't want to trade with us. So it's this kind of back and forth of trying to get everything to actually work together and failing miserably because welcome to cat girls being cat girls and killing each other. Also, I'm encouraging people to eat others, because cannibalism is a completely valid tactic in this game. So, yeah, go for it. I can't stop you. I legitimately cannot stop you from eating your neighbors. And I encourage you to. God, I've been drinking too much. But I like drinking. Oh, no. Okay. Control Shift 8. Different splicer communities, backgrounder. Yeah, we'll do that. Have each of these attributes, each of these resources are split up, are assigned value of 0 to 10, 0 being non-existent, and 10 being plentiful, being in abundance. Oh goodness. 10 being in abundance. Or do I just want to make it a solid value? Let's make it a solid value. Each of these resources can be spam. Being in abundance. Let's get rid of attributes, resources, and additions. A zone will produce one of these resources. We'll produce a resource, often morale, foodstuffs, or scrap. Actually, we'll produce morale, foodstuff, or scrap, which can be spent on various improvements during the process of moving to the next generation. Trying to value whichever 10 with 10 will be non-existent. So we're going to do what's the value of each. The value of resources. resources, but instead of heading 2, we're going to make it heading 3. And we're going to now make charts, because we love charts. So let's do morale first. Let's do 0-5. Low morale. True. Actually, let's say less than 0 morale. Less than 0 morale. Actually, we're gonna need to go to Project Catwhy. Oh, golly gee willikers. It's called Project Catwhy, even though I've renamed it to Tainted Bloodlines. I should fix that one of these days. But I'm the lazy boy, and I don't feel like it. Okay, so let's see. We're going to want morale value 0, less than 0. Morale designation atrocious. Hopeless despair. Fact. -2 children. -2 children born. And then we're going to do 0-5. Low morale. -1 children. Children/born. We're going to do 6-10. Average morale. 0 additional children. No effect. 11-15. High morale. +1 children. 1 children born. And 16 plus. Actually, 16-20. Very high morale. 2 additional children are born. And 21 plus. Incredible faith. And that means 3 additional children are born. And having more children is bad. Why? Because you have to feed them. And feeding children is hard. Yeah. Value resources. Put them all in the middle. Table properties. Black. Alignment center. Middle. Plus. God, I have been drinking too much because I am a drunk. Hopeless despair. Let's put you all the way up. Okay, so that means we are on food stuff now. Food stuff. Actually, what we're going to do with food stuff is food stuff. Food stuff is reduced by the number of bodies. Number of bodies currently present in the colony during the generational phase. If there is not enough foodstuff being produced at this time, then the number of bodies is reduced to the available foodstuff. Morale will affect the number of children and in turn the number of produced bodies that occur every year and occur every generation. If a character morale can be gained by the splicers performing good deeds or having excess food. Having excess food. Let me see. Having double the required food. Or improving the economy. Improving the economy. Economy by a full step. The morale effects take place during the generational phase. During the current generational phase. Morale will fall if anything bad occurs, such as a character's death, random events, and falling equal to the amount of bodies lost due to starvation. The number of bodies is reduced. Which is then bodies. Number of bodies represents the number of individuals who are able-bodied enough to work on zones and be productive. Smaller colonies have a smaller number of people, but a more manageable population. A colony assigns their bodies to a zone to harvest its resources up to the value of the resources in the zone. Footnote. So a scrap 3, actually I should say a foodstuff 3 zone can have 3 bodies working the working the zone for 3 food stuff. Excess bodies still need to be fed. Actually, what I should say is every generational phase, the number of bodies double. Unless starvation has occurred. Regeneration, the number of bodies doubles. Actually, the number of bodies increases by the number of children born to the characters. So if you're effectively speaking right here, if you have less children, i.e. low morale, you're going to increase your bodies at a much slower rate, which means you have to not feed as many people, but you can't work as many resources. Oh, actually, what I should say. During times of conflict, the colony may expend bodies to wage war on another colony. They generate during mass battles. A single body is worth 1. If outfitted with proper equipment, they are worth 2. Scrap. The main currency of the Underhive. Scrap is a method for the colony to buy excess materials from other colonies, or allow the outfitting of gear for their troops, as well as colonies allow the outfitting of soldiers, or constructing improvements in the city, in the colony. A colonial improvement may be built for 5 times resource produced. Scrap. Actually, do I already have this? Colonial improvement build 5 times. Or 5 resource produced. Produce scrap. Or a blanket. 10 scrap. For a unique building or harvester for a unique building on a zone. Let's put a side note. Examples of unique buildings and resource production. Examples of unique buildings. Communal soup kitchen. Splicers. These splicers have put together a small area to allow the allow the creation of simple soup and other tasty treats for those who want them. The soup kitchen reduces the number of foodstuff required by 2. Ah, what would be another good building? Oh yeah, okay, so trade house, splicers. Splicers have put together a small conglomerate of traders within their ranks. To sort out deals and ascertain certain values of goods. The colony's economy improves by 1. Scrap harvesters. The splicers have an organized team of individuals whose sole goal is to harvest the highest quality of scrap, allowing the production on a zone to double its output. Let's see. Allowing a zone to double. Actually, allowing a single zone. Allowing a single zone to double its output. Soldiers require a free body as well as 5 scrap to be 2 scrap to be fully outfitted. Let's see. Oh, golly gee. Let's see. Unique constructs. Nope, didn't mean to put no insert. Table 1 by 1. Example, ascertain, conglomerate, individuals together, food stuff 2. let's see what the final one is. The economy. Economy. The character's economic rate. Economic rating. The colonies. The economic rating ranges from 0 to 5. The higher the rating, the more valuable the tool. More valuable the scrap to resource value is. To calculate, take the current economic rating, take the economic rating, and minus 10 for the price of scrap to resource. So, for example, a economic rating of 3. Economic rating 3 would have a base price for foodstuff be 7 for 1 7 scrap for 1 foodstuff. On the other hand, on the other side of the scale, the more valuable the economic rating of the colony is, the more valuable their goods are. To determine the goods value to be sold at market, take the economic rating and add plus 2. For example, a economic rating of 3 would have the base sell price for foodstuff be 3 foodstuff. Actually, it'd be 5 scrap for 1 foodstuff. So, yeah, okay, that works. So if you have 0 economic rating, that means it's going to be 2 scraps for 1 foodstuff. So you're going to be losing a shit ton of money. Like, it's not even worth it to sell your food at that point. Oh wow, I've been drinking an excessive amount. Okay, so let's see. So, welcome to economics with Notepad and I know I'm going to look at this in the morning and wonder what the hell I actually wrote, because this is actually terrible. Alright, so an economic rating of 3 would have a base foods price stuff. So let's see, we have colonial management, developing the Hive. We have all our value resources. And now we need to add in the Tainted Bloodlines section. Actually, what we need to do is genetic material. And you. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call it a stream here. Where we've been streaming for a little while. And I think we're in a pretty good spot where we are. Pretty much next stream is going to be me dealing with the genetic material and how that works, which is effectively going to be your... effectively, it's almost an expendable experience point system. And what I mean by expendable experience point system is that to heal, you need your genetic material. And in turn, to improve your next generation, you're going to need genetic material. So you're going to need X to Y to Z to get things. So you need genetic material to do anything, really. That's kind of like your base character currency. So, thank you all for watching, for all of those who did. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your time. Godspeed and good luck. I have drank an excessive amount, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.